Before we get started, I want to remind you guys, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, but we will be at the Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana, September 23rd and 24th.
Freaking excited!
That's a Friday and a Saturday. The Saturday is their big bonfire event. We've never been there. We go to some of their events like the Squatch Hunt and stuff like that. This will be the first time for the bonfire. If you see us there, say hi.
Hello.
It's been about a year since Steph got her machine, the 21 XP 1K Trails and Rocks edition. I was gonna wait till 1,000 miles to do a review, but she's got 850 and it's been a year and we got a little free time. We're gonna do a 1-year review on the machine and some of the accessories that have been installed. And then we've also installed a few smaller things in the last few weeks that didn't really get covered on video because they're smaller and they aren't worth doing an entire video on. So the 21 RZR XP 1K Trails and Rocks edition, or as everybody on the internet calls it, the Rocks and Trails. Overall, the machine's been great. It's done pretty much everything she's asked it to do. No real big failures. We covered it in some of the other videos, but I imagine, you know, it's not something people seek out on YouTube to watch. But the brake pressure switch has failed twice. The factory one, I think, was gone within 300 miles, and then she got, I think, maybe 200 or 300 miles on the second one. And when we were at Windrock, we installed the third one. Don't really know why they keep going out. I've searched the forums, Facebook groups, etc. And, you know, people bitch about it, or people say quit bitching about it, but no one really gives answers. And the people that are saying quit bitching about it and just replace the part, it's pretty ridiculous to have to replace that twice already. It's crazy. 300 miles? I mean, there's something else going on. So let's hope this one lasts, or eventually we figure out why. It seems like every 3 to 6 months, Polaris has another stop ride, recall, whatever you want to call them, and someone's machine is down. I think Dude has completely escaped that. There was one for his year, something about the turbo, something. I don't even remember, but it was his year, but not his machine. My 20 Pro XP got hit with the stop ride for the exploding clutch. And Steph's machine is not exempt from this. Apparently in shipping these machines, and I think it's all the XP1Ks, the XP1K turbos, I think the Generals, they all had a stop ride and a recall on the steering wheel. When they shipped them, they stacked them incorrectly and I guess put too much weight on the steering wheel, causing it to weaken. People are driving and I guess the whole ring here just breaks right off the spokes. We ended up putting the one off of my Pro XP on her machine, and I got an Assault one. She quickly found out she preferred the diameter of her factory one over the diameter of the Pro XP one. I think it's an inch difference or something like that. So she stuck it out for a little while driving with the Pro XP one. Her recalled one here turned into my favorite GoPro stand. Thanks Polaris for the GoPro stand. Anyways, she is now rocking an Assault steering wheel too. I think it's 330 millimeters. She wanted to try the suede, so we'll see how that goes. The little blue accent. And we weren't able to get the Assault hub, so she's got a Pro Armor hub on there, but it all works. So she's pumped on this to finally have the correct size steering wheel. At Windrock, going down the Devil's Elbow.
There goes my parakeet.
It's a foldable.
I folded myself. Are you sure?
we talked about this, her mirror. This cheap piece of shit from Amazon with a light. It's tinted. You can't see crap out of it. And it's just garbage. It broke. It hit a little rock and snapped off. So in her search for a better mirror, dude who has the 21 Pro XP on this channel, he has the Seismic Pursuits. That's what I ended up going with on my machine too. And she just loved the fact that Seismic has the lifetime guarantee, and it's a no bullshit one. So I'm pretty sure you can just punch the mirror and they'll replace it. They've had really good customer service. Dude had them for his original 4-seater, which is just the XP1K. And that has the 1 3/4 roll bar. He bought the Pro XP, had these mirrors that he liked from it, and they just sent him out new mounts for the 2-inch thing, free of charge. Just, I mean, you like customer service like that. It's awesome. He was ready to just buy them, and they sent them, so we're a fan of Seismic mirrors. She didn't want the same ones as dude, so she got the Seismic Photon. The Pursuit one, last week I showed how it completely folds in and then it just pops back, but hers is just adjustable. So if you hit a tree, you have to reach over and readjust it. So that could be a little bit more of a pain in the ass, but either way, if she hits something, we know she's covered. But overall, they're nice looking mirrors. Everything's quality. And sitting in her machine, it's you can see everything out of these. It's pretty incredible. Since the other mirrors that these are replacing had that light, we had wiring all ran for those lights on the mirrors. The new mirrors have no lights, so instead of just taking all the wiring out, I threw a little Amazon setup. Got some little pods on the A-pillar, just I don't even know what brand, and some Amazon brand A-pillar mount, and night or something. Little pod lights, nothing special. They work. It's a little added light at night if she needs it. In the comment sections of some of the videos, you know, we've had people ask about the tires. This machine came with 30-inch Pro Armor Crawler XGs, and they've done well. They're not the best in the mud. They don't clear out that great. But in Tennessee at Windrock, they did awesome. The only issue she had was clearance issues. So it's not really the compound of the tire's fault. It's the size. She was getting up stuff easier than I was with the Terra hooks. And, you know, I have a little more ground clearance. If there was rocks available to climb, you know, the tire stuck pretty good, as where the Terra hooks did not. They also seem to be wearing nicely too. And then all of the factory stuff that comes on the trails and rocks has done great. The skid plate, it's got the high clearance A-arms and the radius rods, and everything's worked as it should. I don't like factory decals on anything. Steph didn't really like it. I just, you know, it looks cleaner without. And for her machine, hers just kind of fell off. We've got the world's shittiest pressure washer, and it just blew her door stickers right off. So I did the signature paint speckle paint job on her doors. After the stickers were peeled, she made her Somewhat Haggard logo for her doors, and that's what she's rocking with now. Did the same thing for the hood and the grill. While we're up front, we did do the video on this Kemimoto bumper, and it still looks better than the one that comes from the factory, but we did notice it's probably not the right bumper for the type of riding we're going to be doing. If you're going to be testing your approach angle, it's probably not the right bumper for you. You know, this is, I think, if you're cruising like smooth Wisconsin trails and just want a little added protection, it's fine. But, you know, if you're going to test that approach angle and hit some rocks, it's not great. She dented it almost instantly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's smashed in right here. So we added this Gnome Nut V4 stereo, the 2 tower speakers, the sub, and you got the little controller right here by the steering wheel. If you're trying to add tunes to your machine on a budget, I highly recommend this setup. It sounds good, and it's not a lot of money. I don't remember what the total cost is because we bought it in pieces, but they have bundle packs too. The tower speakers and the amp have been getting used since I got my machine, so those are like 2 years old, and then the sub is fairly new. But it all works great. It sounds fine. You can hear it perfectly without having to crank it all the way up. The McNasty inner fender guards. You know, don't really have much to say about those. They just kind of do their job, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Another one that I've seen people ask in the comment sections is Grandma's whips. These guys here, they've been great. They turn on every time. Everything's worked out great. The company itself has great customer service. The whips hit everything, and so far the Grandma's whips have done good, and the 5150 ones have done good. People are always seeming to ask about whip lights, and at this point I'd say, you know, go with a reputable company. I would stay away from whip lights that are, you know, $89. I wouldn't even bother. Well, shit, guys, I think I covered everything on her machine. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. If I do, I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. So if I do, you know, let me know, and I'll answer you there. Going forward, some of the plans for her machine. Steph's more concerned about the cage being Uggo, and you know, I want her to have a safer cage. So that is gonna be the first thing we're focusing on with her machine. Aftermarket cage, nice and beefy. I think she's looking to do a 7-inch drop, which means we're gonna have to do some seat lowering bases. And yeah, as we saw last week on my machine, the cage just completely changes the look of the entire machine. Yeah, she's itching to do that. She hits the garage door every time she drives in, and it is ugly. And it's not the safest option if we're gonna continue to ride the way we wanna ride and where we wanna ride in the mountains and stuff, and continue to push our limits and push the machine's limits. A roll cage really should have been the first thing any of us do, and you know, it's not how it worked out. Along with that, bigger tires, different rims. The factory ones are hideous. They are bead locks, so they do the job, but she wants to run Rockzillas, so that's going to be the plan. 32-inch Rockzillas. She's going to pick some rims, and yeah, that'll be after cage, but it's coming down the line for her machine. And with that, we will probably be doing some sort of forward offset A-arms on her machine as well, to make sure she doesn't rub those McNasty plates, kind of take away some of your clearance. We did test it over the winter with Dude's Rockzillas, and it didn't seem to rub, but that's just driving around his yard. You start getting this bitch articulating with the wheels turned, trying to do a climb, you know, probably gonna rub. I'm hoping next video we introduce the new sponsor, show you what we got done, and then after that, I'm hoping to do a lot more riding videos. We'll have 2 days at the Badlands. I teased it earlier about some shit talk going on between some people in our group about whose machine is faster. So we have something planned for that. Just been waiting on parts. We're gonna do some racing. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, comment on the videos, and subscribe. Get your grandma to subscribe. See if your postman wants to subscribe. Maybe he or she likes side-by-sides. You never know. That's gonna be the biggest way to help us grow. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.